Rauniomuurien ympärille on kohonnut siellä täällä telineitä. Jossain syntyy jo uusi katto. Pohjolan sitkeä kansa ei hellitä pahimpienkaan vastuksien keskellä. Vähitellen saa yksi ja toinen asukas lehmän elämän avuksi. Pellot on jälleen kunnostettava kasvamaan uutta viljaa ja antamaan leipää ja voimaa Pohjois-Suomen jälleenrakentajille. Tuhkastakin nousee uusi elämä.
After the Second World War, Finland needed energy for reconstruction and new industries. Much of Finland's electricity production capacity had been lost to the Soviet Union in the Moscow Peace Treaty. Pohjolan Voima was established to fill the energy shortfall in the post-war period. The purpose of the company was to provide electricity primarily to its shareholders. Thus, its shareholders were able to ensure the supply of electricity and to have a say on its price. Ever since then, competition has prevailed in Finland's production of electricity. At its constitutive meeting in 1943, 8 Finnish forest industry enterprises wanting to utilize the hydroelectric power of northern Finland became the shareholders of Pohjolan Voima. The first task of the new corporation was to buy hydropower reserves. The corporation quickly acquired major shares in the rivers Kemijoki and Iijoki. Construction at the mouth of the river Kemijoki at Isohara began immediately after the war in 1945. In post-war Finland, the construction of Isohara was a huge project. There was a shortage of machinery and equipment, and a shortage of currency made financing difficult. After Isohara, Pohjolan Voima lacked the resources for new large projects. In Jumisko, however, it was possible to affordably build a regulating power plant that utilized regional catchment areas. It also boosted Isohara's production and increased the value of the electricity it produced. Thus, Jumisko became Pohjolan Voima's second building project. The Jumisko building plan was crystallized in spring 1951, and the final decision to build was made in November. The plan covered the construction of the power plant and the regulation of the lakes of the river Jumisko-joki's watercourse. Before building Jumisko, Pohjolan Voima had to obtain the rights to utilize hydropower. At the conclusion of the general reparceling of land, Pohjolan Voima negotiated an agreement for the purchase of the hydroelectric power reserves from almost the entire watercourse. In the 1950s, the political climate did not favor private electricity production, and the state wanted to prevent the construction of the Jumisko power plant. Jumisko and other hydroelectric power of northern Finland were often fiercely debated in parliament and other governing bodies. Pohjolan Voima was nevertheless able to complete the project. The plan for the Jumisko power plant was entirely new to Finland. The power plant was to be situated on the northern end of the watercourse, to which water was channeled along a new route 28 kilometers long. The route consisted of lakes, canals, and 7.5 kilometers of tunnels blasted through rock. A head or drop of 96 meters was achieved by placing the machine hall 100 meters into the bedrock. The key lakes were regulated and one lake located below was regulated by pumping. The construction schedule was tight. Before the actual building phase, roads had to be built, as the area was an inhabited wilderness. A power transmission line was also built from the plant to Isohaara.
Tämänlaatuinen työ ei ole jokamiehen tehtävissä. Se vaatii hyviä hermoja ja fyysillistä kuntoa ja on verrattavissa melkein trapetsivoimistelijan ammattiin. Toisaalta työ ilmeisesti kiinnostaa tekijöitään, sillä jokaiselle linjatyömaalle saadaan aina kantamiehistö vanhoista tekijöistä, jotka ammatikseen kiertävät ympäri maata linjarakennukselta toiseen.
The road to the building site was completed in November 1952. The construction service centre was ready in April, at which time the excavation work of the canals was started. Suitable technology and equipment for excavating the tunnels were sought from abroad. The 30-megawatt plant was started for the first time on the night of New Year's Day, 1954.
Aallon lupaus johtokunnalle, että se on silloin. Ja hän oli jossakin odottamassa Helsingissä, että lähtikö kone käymään, ja kone lähti ennen puolta yötä käymään, ja sillä siisti. Se oli sellainen 500 henkeä, ja siinä oli sitten jo loppujen lopuksi sähköasentajat ja kaikki ne ulkolaisetkin mukaan. Koska viedään mettään noin suuri ihmisväki, niin yötäpäivää tekemään työtä, vuorotyötä, niin sinne se oli pakko rakentaa sellaiset asunnot ja ylläpitovehkeet, sanoisin ruokalat ja kaupat, että mehän rakensimme sinne kaikkiaan, mitä se oli 32 rakennusta. Se jotenkin oli niin positiivinen ilmapiiri minun mielestä, että me kaikki niin kuin halusimme yhteen peliin pelata. Ja osa niistä mestareista oli jo ollut Isohaarassa ja suurin osa, että silloin ne oli niin kuin tuttuja rakennusmestarit ja kaikki. Että jotenkin se oli sellainen niin kuin vanhat tutut ovat ruvennut tekemään jotain.
Due to the great demand for electricity, Jumisko was built rapidly with a temporary permit. During the building phase, the general attitude towards the harnessing of hydroelectric power was one of enthusiasm and admiration. However, it took 30 years to get the final permits. During that time, water had eroded lake shores and dislodged stumps. Fish populations also declined. A major water dispute developed, giving people negative attitudes towards regulation. In the 1980s, Pohjolan Voima embraced an active environmental protection policy. Voluntary agreements were made, and fish were restocked. The shores of Lake Suolijärvi were flawlessly restored, in partnership with environmental and labour authorities. Local opinion on hydroelectric power turned positive once again.
Nyt tämä kalahoitovelvoitehan on lähinnä se, jota toteutetaan. Voimayhtiöhän se on tässä niin kuin semmoisena kalan kasvattajana ja touhuajana. Nythän on 30 vuotta jo ihan mukavasti menty, kun oikeusasteet on antanut päätöksensä ja voimayhtiö on tehnyt sen, mitä sille on velvoitteita annettu ja enämpi sitäkin. Sehän on säännöstelijäni etu, että hommat on hyvin, niin kuin se on meidän etu. Että kyllä siellä tänä päivänä katsotaan aivan, että kun homma saataisiin menemään hyvin, niin silloinhan se on hyvä.
The price of electricity in Finland has been kept low, thanks to competition in the private and public sectors. The long history of competition eased the transition to an open electricity market in the 1990s. Over the decades, Pohjolan Voima has grown into a major power company that produces electricity for its owners from numerous sources and continuously invests in new power plants. Today there is also greater diversity among its owners. Preparing for climate change has made renewable energy sources increasingly important. Jumisko continues to be a shining example of the way Pohjolan Voima utilizes renewable resources in harmony with the environment.